So Steph Curry with 44 points and 46 with the very final. You know, we got a little number for you. You ready for this?
Talk to me.
Over the age of 30, Michael Jordan has 44 games that were 40 spots. You have 43 games that are 40 spots. You're one behind him. I think you might have another 40-point game before your career ends.
God willing, that's pretty good company for sure. Blessed. We needed every bit of them tonight. Everybody stepped up, you know, considering how last night went. Came with great energy, top to bottom. That third quarter is what we do, you know, getting stops, pushing, creating easy offense. And thankfully, I was able to knock a couple down. But, yeah, I'll take that company for sure.
What did you think about with that little sitting on the bench before halftime? You went in late and kind of gathered yourself before you joined your teammates.
As a shooter, anytime you're missing short, you get in your head a little bit. That's like the worst miss ever, and I had probably 3 or 4 of them. So I was just trying to talk to myself, you know, a little pep talk over there, get your mind right. But sometimes it's nice to feel it in the arena versus in the locker room because you know you got to come back out here and do work.
Steph, what were the discussions like in the huddle? Because you guys seemed to get more physical, more aggressive there in the second half. You ended up going 13 for 14 from the free throw line, 30 for 34 from the free throw line as a team. What was said there to get you guys attacking that much to make them foul as much?
I think Jimmy's the only one that really can, you know, impose his will to get to the line kind of whenever he wants to. But for the rest of us, it's more just getting organized offensively with space. When you have space and driving angles, then you're making the defense have to react, play on their heels. And, you know, for me to get to the line that many times, that means I'm able to drive, take advantage of mismatches. You know, again, have the defense retreat. And that only comes because everybody's organized and in the right spots. And, you know, we didn't really make a lot of shots in the first half, but I think everybody kept their, you know, their confidence, their composure, and knew that it would turn around because we were creating great looks in the first half. It was just a matter of time.
You know, we ask players, hey, do you get lost watching Steph go crazy offensively? I'll ask you to flip it around. Did you realize how Draymond was guarding Wembanyama and what a job he did on him tonight?
Yeah, he loves these type of matchups, you know, giving up however many, almost a foot. And just the idea that, you know, he takes on those challenges. You know, offensively, we know as the season goes on, he's going to continue to, you know, be productive on that end. But for him to just look at the stats aside, he just made him work. He was physical all night. That's the only way you can, you know, go against a talent like that. You're going to give up numbers, but it's just a matter of how. And I think he loved that effort and that challenge, and there's only way we won tonight.
And speaking of Wembanyama, how much do you embrace that little back and forth? Because you went David versus Goliath a few times tonight, attacking him inside. Most people see him inside and just turn away. You're jumping back into him, drawing fouls. How much fun was that, and how much do you embrace that?
Yeah, I mean, when you get those possessions, you try to just be decisive. The only thing I know is I was shooting short in the first half. Then I tried to shoot a couple rainbow moon balls over him. I didn't make any of them, but I'm not worried about my arc moving forward because he challenges you in a way that doesn't make any sense. So I saw it in the Olympics, and it always catches you off guard, but you know he's going to be around this league for a long time doing that.
All right, we'll let you go with this one. Hey, how'd you like to play these guys again on Friday?
I know. We're getting used to the sights and sounds of San Antonio. Be a whole different, more colorful court on Friday, so it might feel like a different arena. So we'll be ready for it.
All right, thanks for stopping, Steph. We appreciate it. Incredible game. One more away from Michael. I believe in you. Another 40-point game has happened before you're done.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Needed this win field, you know, in the course of a regular season.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we weren't exactly panicking, and we're 6-6, and there's, you know, 70 games left, but we needed to rediscover our identity, you know. The ball movement right away, even though we scored 14 points in the first quarter, I liked the process. The ball was moving. Everybody was sprinting into ball screens, sprinting the floor, getting to our spots in transition, competing defensively, and that just felt like our team out there.
What was the calculus between with the new starting lineup, and how do you think that group?
Yeah, well, we need, but with Jimmy, you know, Jimmy needs some shooting around him, so we wanted to get you know, Moses and Will out there for the spacing, and then you know, one of the things Will's been doing a great job of is just moving the ball, and you know, Steph and Draymond thrive on ball movement, and Will just keeps reversing the ball, just like Gary. Gary's a great ball reverse guy. And so I thought Gary was fantastic in the second half, and what a pro, guy hasn't been in the rotation for 2 weeks, and you never hear anything from him. He stays upbeat, positive. Everybody loves him. And then he always stays ready. And so I just thought we got great contributions from our role players in a way that enhanced our best players.
What words can you even use to describe Steph's night?
Routine. I've seen this. How many times has he scored 40 in his career?
73. Oh, it's on the quarter, my bad.
73? Yeah. I'm kidding, obviously. That was not routine, but when you have the privilege of watching Steph for 11 plus years, like I have, you get used to this. And he's the reason this whole thing has happened. He's our Tim Duncan. He's the sun, in our solar system. And he's just such an incredible player and teammate. And it's great to see him back out there. I thought last night he was able to at least shake the rust off. It's probably good. He only played 19, 20 minutes. And you could see even in the first quarter, he was still a little rusty, and then he found it. And Draymond, I told the coaches this is like such a Draymond night. He's got the highest plus minus on our team. He's one of the most impactful guys. The way he guarded Wemby was incredible. And then you look at the box score, he's, 1 for 10, fouls out, 4 turnovers. But the guy just wins. He's a winner. And the way he and Steph have, played together over the last decade, that continuity is one of the reasons we're still here competing.
Steve, there were obviously a bunch of differences between last night and tonight. What did you think the biggest one was?
Just overall competitive spirit. I just felt like we were connected, and the guys were embarrassed last night, and we were a little out of whack, and this happens. I told the team today in 2022 we won the title. I think we lost 6 games in a row in March, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been like 8 out of 9 or something, and we won the title like 3 months later. So in the 82 game season, you're just going to have spells, but the important thing is to rediscover your identity and your competitive spirit, and that's what I saw tonight.
How much of the last 6 games where you lost your identity and lost a bunch of games, how much of that was just related to Steph shooting slump, and then Steph misses 3 games? He hadn't really given you a night like this or even near this for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think I told you guys, it felt like in Milwaukee and Indiana, like we were kind of wiped out. It was a pretty tough way to start the season, and our guys are, the guys who play heavy minutes are never going to be in mid-season conditioning and groove the first week of the season. But we started out with whatever it was, I think like 5 games and 8 nights or something, and a bunch of different cities. And I just thought we were a little tired, and we got out of sync, and then Steph got sick, and we've also been changing the lineup around, with Al going in and out, and the injury to Moses, it kept him out of the first 2. So things have been a little clunky, but I believe in these guys, and I think tonight was a good step in, kind of getting back to who we are.
Wembanyama had a 30-point triple-double, but it seemed like you were making him work for his shots. He had 8 turnovers. Kind of what was the key to making sure he didn't just completely take over the game?
Well, you said it. You got to make him work for everything, and you just can't give him the easy stuff. It didn't feel like he got a lot of easy baskets tonight. Draymond did an incredible job on him, and he's one of those guys you just have to embrace the fact that he's probably going to get 30. But you just want to make it difficult and try to keep him off the foul line. He got six free throws, a couple of them late. So overall, we did a decent job on him, but the guy is just an incredible player.
Is this starting lineup one that you want to give like a runway to?
For sure. Just like I gave that first starting lineup a runway, you guys asked me if we were going to stay with that. And I said, we will going forward, and we'll do this going forward. And that that can change at any time based on how the team is and who's healthy and all that stuff. But yeah, we'll for sure start them again on Friday and, see how it goes.
I guess the reason why I asked is because you've liked the post Draymond duo, and I think post is probably your leader in plus minus. I was wondering if he might be interchangeable with Richard in certain matchups.
We'll see. I mean, I'd like to start this way, Friday, and we'll just see how it goes. And Quentin could definitely start. I mean, I told you 2 games ago that I thought he was going to start, routinely, and then we watched last night, and no, we gotta make some adjustments. So nothing is set in stone. But I'm proud of all the guys for competing and being ready for the moment. All I heard was he was sore before the game. He warmed up. He felt good. And Rick said he could go. And then during the game, he told us it was starting to get sore. And so at halftime, Rick told me he was out.
Dude, what does it say about you've been so effusive in your praise of Will throughout that a second round pick, he went from not really in the rotation maybe to start to now he's starting early a month into the season. What does that say about how much he has progressed so quickly in his first year?
Well, he's a really mature young guy. He just has a great sense for the game. He's not afraid of anything. Shoots every time he's open. Hit a huge shot in the fourth. But tonight wasn't his night, like from an offensive standpoint, and he didn't care. He just did his job defensively and ran the floor hard and brought this joy and energy to the game. And we're really lucky to have him, and it's pretty impressive. What Mike and his staff have done the last few years. Drafting. All these guys who are making big contributions for us between Trace, Quentin, BP, Will, with second round picks or late first. It's really, really impressive, and it's fun to see these young guys perform well.
Come up with 50-50 balls and, do all the little things, and that showed today. And I think that we got to build on this one and continue to do the little things, and, good things that happen for us.
This early season been for you, kind of end of the rotation tonight.
It's a story of my career. Don't play, I play, might not play, and then I get thrown back in the fire. So it's another day at work, just staying ready, being ready. That's it, whatever I can do to help out the team. Just go in and make plays, try to get the balls to the certain guys, and, just do the little things.
What stuck out to you defensively as a group, especially in the second half?
Just communication, being in the right spots, showing bodies with the big fella, and just making him get off it, and then just closing out to to the shooters and running them off, and just making them make another play. And just coming up with the rebound on one-shot possessions. And if we do that and we get out and we can get out and get good looks, get Jimmy and Steph the ball and let them operate it, and just work around them.
For hunting offensive rebounds.
Just crash. The league's been changing a lot, so everybody's crashing. So, just see, look at the ball and see where it might end up. Might be short, might be long. So, run through the nail and, just be in the right area where the ball, usually comes from long threes. So, just crashing.
Here, you guys are always talking about a season, but did anybody after last night maybe lean into this game say, hey, this isn't us. We're better than what we're showing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still trying to figure out what our identity is. And, tonight was a good sample size of, what we could be, for the rest of this beginning stretch. And we just got to be, a scrappy team fighting. Like I said, come up with 50-50 balls. Got to take care of the ball, or, the frustration is going to creep in on both sides. So we continue to come up with 50-50 balls, take care of the balls, make the right plays. I think we'll be fine at the end of this, end of this year. Looks like he's pretty almost fully healthy, almost fully healthy. He probably would have got 50 if he was fully healthy. So I'll take the 45, 46. But just to see him in a rhythm, good rhythm, it's encouraging for everybody.
you think some of that scrap, that fight wasn't there over the past couple weeks?
Like I said, we're still trying to figure out our identity. The young guys are still trying to figure out, the best way to help the team. So, got to do a little mixture of combinations and, just go out there and play freely, but, play smart. So if we can connect to both of those, I think we're going to be in a good spot. And a lot of the young guys figured that out tonight in this type of scrappy game.
Fire away.
Now, obviously, you weren't in there last night, but you watched very closely. What did you think the difference was between how the group played in Oklahoma City to how the group responded tonight?
Yeah, offense and defense are connected, and I felt like tonight, from the beginning, there was a very clear effort of our group wanting to move the ball, to move the ball, play a little faster, and then on the offensive end, we got it going like that. So then defensively, I felt like we started flying around a little more, playing better. We had some coverage mistakes there that we'll clean up, but I feel like that was the difference. I think that, the ball was moving. It just wasn't, we weren't overthinking it. We were just making the simple play.
How much do you think the rotational changes allowed you guys to do things like play faster, move the ball better?
I just think it was just the mindset of our group. Coach was, very made us conscious, aware of that we just need to be better. We can't, we have to make quicker decisions. It has to be crispier, and we have to be able to get to our spots. And I just feel like every guy that got in there tonight, we did that in one way or another. First unit did it. When the second unit came in, we kept bringing the energy and try to play fast, and it worked out in our favor. As the game went on, we were able to, to wear them down.
It seemed like you were able to force Wembanyama to take some difficult shots, 8 turnovers. What was kind of the key to defending him tonight?
Draymond did a really good job on him, contesting all his stuff. And it's tough because, you can't take everything away from him, and he still finds a way to get 31 points. When he pulls up like that for 3, it's hard, and, you try your best to challenge it. But I felt like we did good. We contained them as best we could. And he's still going to, impact the game, but I felt like we were good.
What does stand out the most about Draymond's defense on him as someone who's a foot short of him?
He takes on that challenge. He embraces it, and him being able to get into the ball, making it hard for him not to have anything easy, and just contesting all his stuff. He's just a smart defender, so he knows, when he can do different things, when he can bump him, when he can, shoot the gap when he needs to. But ultimately, I feel like he did a really good job contesting his shots.
As his teammate now, when can you feel that Steph is going to come up flurry like that?
It's just that all it takes is that one shot, and in the third quarter he hit. I feel like he hit that 3-pointer that finally went down, and then when that went down, it was like the corner was like, here we go, and then it was just, they were in trouble, and then I feel like Gary Payton just completely changed the game for us in the second half. His offensive rebounding, defensively, but just his impact. I was just very impressed with him because, to be able to be called out like that, and just he kept making winning play after winning play. There was a sequence there in the third where Draymond was ringing the ball down, and he right away instinctively went to get Steph on a screen to get him open, and Steph gets fouled for 3 shots there. And it's one of those things that, the guy, he just understands how to play. He knows how to play. He's a winner. And I was just impressed with Gary tonight, particularly.
What have you learned about Moses Moody being his teammate so far?
Man, the guy is just, I'll just say that he's deceptive to me, because I didn't know he was that athletic. He will rise up and dunk on someone, and then he shoots it way better than I thought. He really can shoot the ball. I just what's impressed me about him is just his poise and his preparation, and he's very professional. And when he's out there, he's fearless. He's quiet, but he gets it done, and his presence is felt. And man, he's just shooting it really, really well.
How does your shot feel right now? I think 3 threes tonight, 4 the other night.
Yeah, I mean, I think that as we continue to get organized offensively, I think everything, the shots are going to come as they should. I think that we're still trying to all find it, but when we're out there and we're getting to our spots and the offense is flowing and moving and you're getting the shots within the flow of the offense, they look and feel a lot different. So that's the biggest difference for me now, that I feel like that we're within the offense and shots are coming, but they're coming in a way that it's not like I don't have to, hurry up or speed up or there's a lot of factors that go into it. So, for me, Jimmy is just keeping an eye out for me. He just kind of keeps finding me and I'm staying ready and just stay in space. And for Steph, I'm doing the same thing in the first half. He hit me in the corner, and I'm just trying to, spread the floor as much as I can. And I know that, when the shots come, I'll be ready.
Committed to winning tonight?
Yeah. I think the ball got where it needed to go. Play together, swing, shoot the ball in the open, pass when you're not. Guarded at an elite level. And got one on the road. We hope that this is a step in the best direction.
Steve said he felt like last night was like kind of a sobering experience that made y'all look a little bit different. I mean, how were the last 24 hours?
Good. Very humbling to see, I don't like talking about the past, but to see what a championship team really looks like. Championship aspirations, that's what we got to get to. Together on both sides of the ball, having fun, being very, very joyful when we're out there. And I think we got back to that tonight, so we just need to keep stacking those.
How'd you assess the starting group that started tonight?
Good. Still 5 good basketball players out there. We're going to figure it out. Guys that know where the ball got to go. And just flying around, high energy, and together. I like the way they look. Could change. I'm not the boss, so I don't know, but it looked really good tonight.
The boss did a joke that this was routine from Steph. Is it routine to you at this point?
What he be doing?
Yeah.
That's, like I said, you always got a chance whenever he out there before, especially making incredible shots like he was. That's what we need. That's what he's going to give us. He's going to do what he does. It's our job, everybody else, to do what we're supposed to do. So, the role players are the one that's really going to win. Me being one of those as well. The star is going to do what he does.
Jimmy, you hit on it a little bit, but the focus was definitely better from start to
get a ball to Steph and get out the way. That's the focus.
Why do you think it was so much better tonight, given what happened last night?
I think there was a lot more clarity. I think it's a real art. I call it the art of getting out the way. Like, get a ball to 30 and get out the way. The talent will create the disadvantage. And I think that's what we focus on tonight. Give the ball to Steph, get out the way, and let Steph do what he's been doing for so many years in this league. Good things happen.
You feel physically tonight compared to last night?
Getting one game under my belt helped. Still got a little congestion, but like my lungs felt way different. Everybody knows in season it's really hard to simulate like live action with a couple of days to catch up to live NBA pace, but night and day difference today.
Steve said he felt like the last 24 hours was kind of, and yesterday was an embarrassment, and I think that seems like a lot of internal conversations. How do you view the last 24 hours and like what turned, what was talked about, all that?
When you lose, like you gotta, assess what's going on. Don't be afraid of changes, and then that means everybody being, ready to adapt to whatever you're asked to do. Like, especially with a team with high expectations, like we're not going to sit in a situation and just think that things are going to change on their own. Like, whether that's lineup changes, whether that's how we're approaching the game, whether it's energy, whatever it is. And we've been around the block long enough, and we have enough experience to know that we can address stuff and not make it personal. It's everybody taking accountability and ownership and keeping it real. We'll probably got to do it 3-4 more times down the rest of the season. This is the way basketball is at this level. You need to have expectations.
Steph, you played with Gary for so long now. What does it say about him to have the impact that he had tonight after having kind of a slower start to the season, being out of the rotation, and then doing what he did?
Huge. He's a professional. He's been through this, where you got to stay ready. Whether it's been him being like injured, coming in and out of the lineup, or coach's decision on who he's putting out there, but the way that he impacts the game defensively, we all know that. But he just seems to find himself in the right place at the right time offensively. He knows how to set screens, keep the ball moving. If he's open, shoot it. It's simple, boring basketball, but it's winning basketball, and he does a great job of being ready whenever he's called to go out there.
You kind of threw your hands up at that corner three in the third quarter. Alf outlet that got you going. Did it feel like that was the shot that kind of got your night really going in the third quarter?
Yeah, it was nice to start the second half with free throws and then kind of go from there. So, I mean, that's the thing. We, as a team, the shots that we got, we didn't shoot the ball well. And we're only down 7 at the half. And then, the shots that we created were pretty good. Just don't get frustrated. Keep being aggressive. Thankfully, like you said, I made one. Got a rhythm going. Feels like I can make a couple more, but it was a good second half.
How did you hit on it almost? You feel like over the course of the season, you got to have whatever you have come up. I feel like after last night, there needed to be like a clear into the air a little bit after that kind of thing.
Not like a players only meeting full panic mode type situation, but it was just a good film session to talk about the things. Like we were a step slow offensively and defensively, and when you played against the champs, it looked bad. But it was like, how do you create good space offensively, make quick decisions, get the ball moving, and obviously we made a lineup change, but it was more of an approach to the game that kept us in it, even though we weren't making shots in the first half. So, and then it speaks to the DNA of a team that, again, has a sense of pride and a care factor. Like, you could have let go of the rope a couple times and things were smart going our way, but the way we responded is who we think we are. We just got to keep proving it.
Unrelated to tonight, I wanted to ask you about Harrison Barnes and kind of your very knee-jerk first impressions of him when he came in as a rookie. What do you think about him?
I had seen him in high school, at Chris Paul's camp back in the day, and then watching him in Carolina playing against my brother at Duke.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, he came in. He was a guy that was like wise beyond his years from the jump. Like always carried himself like a professional from day one. Took care of his body. He was very low maintenance in the locker room, but made his presence felt. So he was a great rookie.
You said back in the day, you guys used to call him Barack.
He was a senator.
Yeah.
A senator. He still probably is going to go back to Iowa and be a public servant. I see that in his future.
Back to Nick's question. Kind of on a scale of like 1 to 10, with 10 being like ultimate crisis, you guys have dealt with 4. Okay. Just wondering how low. That's might be a little higher than I thought you were gonna go. Was it 4? Okay.
Steph, after 37 now, and after basically having win everything you put in this thing, what makes you just want to do it? What are you chasing into this thing?
Not to, our slogan this year, the team or the franchise is like chase the moments. That's kind of feeling like it's not really an accolade thing or an accomplishment other than a championship. It's moments like tonight where you're in a fight and 15 guys got to figure out how to win a game because there's pride and there's expectations. Like you live for those moments. All the ups and downs and the frustration and embarrassment of last night turns into tonight. And the emotional roller coaster is what brings you back because you can't find that really anywhere else.
Did you know that was your first flagrant foul of your career?
I had no clue. Felt weird. The foul that's getting reviewed. I know about the landing thing.
Yeah.
I gotta get my money's worth. That's soft. That's a soft flagrant foul.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get another one this year.
Did Draymond like give you a ritual or something you had to go?
Nah. I don't think I'm initiated yet. If that's the question. That ain't. No.
How you took it to the rim a few times against Wemby, but how natural is it to take it inside into the lane and have to loop around just because of his presence?
I think after the first, we played him in preseason his rookie year. And I remember somebody got blocked at the 3-point line, and a couple guys got in there and got stuck. I think after the first time you feel it is an adjustment from game to game, but it's not like you don't fight it because you know that there might be some other options on the other side. His presence is crazy, but there is other outlets and other ways to create offense if you can get in the paint. Thankfully, I got by him one time. I was able to kind of hang in the air and got him off balance. That's really the only way to finish over him. But yeah, don't be stupid and think you can overcome that. It's not.